The newest film in the animated franchise, Despicable Me 4, brings Gru and his family together for a joyful conclusion, while also laying the groundwork for what's to come. The main plot of the movie centers on Gru and his family entering anti-villain League witness protection after the evil Maxime Le swears revenge on Gru. The plot of Despicable Me 4 ultimately branches out into other narratives. While some are silly, the major focus is still on Gru, who is trying to balance taking care of his little son Gru Jr., dealing with extortion from would-be criminal Poppy Prescott, and avoiding Maxime's attempt at retaliation. The characters of Despicable Me 4, the sixth overall edition in the franchise, come together at the end of the movie to celebrate and reiterate the ideas of the entire series. With numerous cameos from familiar faces and a focus on how much Gru has changed during the series, it's a charming depiction of the entire run. It gives Gru's story a distinctly happy ending and lets the franchise go in new ways, even though it may set up a way for him to battle both returning and new enemies in the movies. The conclusion of Despicable Me 4 softly serves as the ideal farewell for Gru and his family, and ends the story on a positive note. Gru and his family are allowed to go back to their previous life and reunite with relatives after vanquishing Maxime Le, the Despicable Me villain created by Will Ferrell. This sets up a happy family picnic that ends the movie, with appearances by Dr. Nefario, Gru's mother Marlena, his brother Drew and Gru, Lucy, the children, and the minions. It's a touching moment that demonstrates Gru's growth. It also displays the breadth of the cast of the series. Gru was an arrogant, self-assured antagonist in the first movie who showed little regard for other people. He has developed significant relationships and shown emotional growth throughout the Despicable Me franchise. Gru has developed into a devoted spouse, an adopted parent, and even a true hero throughout the course of the story. He even serves as Poppy Prescott's mentor in Despicable Me 4. All of this emphasizes the series' overarching themes, which center on how accepting love into one's life can make one much better. According to Despicable Me 4, Gru spoke with Maxime in an anti-villain League prison before to their picnic. Although Gru's flimsy apology for their high school altercation sets up a new prison talent exhibition, their hatred endures. This implies that the tension between them has decreased from the film's climactic, almost deadly heights. It also establishes a sequence of cameos across the entire trilogy, as Gru and Maxime perform a dueling rendition of Everyone Wants to Rule the World. All of the other important villains from the Despicable Me series come to see them. Interestingly, nobody seemed to have a specific grievance toward Gru. At first, it's Vector from Despicable Me, El Macho from Despicable Me 2, and Balthazar Brat from Despicable Me 3, who are all revealed to be in the jail talent show audience, seeing the musical rivalry between Gru and Maxime. The antagonists from the Minions spin-off movies emerge from their cells to join the song's chorus. This comprises 5 members of the Vicious Six from Minions, the rise of Gru in addition to Scarlet and Herb Overkill from Minions. It's a great approach to allude to the breadth of the 13-year-old franchise and connect past events to the current picture. Despicable Me 4 softly feels like a satisfying conclusion, as the whole cast of the series joins Gru in celebrating the life he's created for himself. Even if the show decides to go beyond Gru, there are still a lot of other paths it may travel in the future. The super-powered Mega Minions, in particular, could arrange additional adventures for the tiny yellow goofballs on behalf of the Anti-Villain League. Poppy's admission to Gru's evil Alma School, the Lycée Paz Bond School of Villainy, may bring in a new cast of characters and a whole new dimension to the story. The revelation that all of Gru's former enemies are housed in the same prison may serve as the catalyst for a large-scale villainous team-up and potential follow-up. It could be tough to bring back every character that has faced Gru for significant roles due to their immense star power, but it might be possible to have some entertaining rematches versus Gru by switching up the roles or focusing on a select few. Even better, the jail environment may be a terrific opportunity to introduce Gru's adversaries in any future Despicable Me 5. Despicable Me 4 emphasizes Gru's development and reaffirms the main ideas of the entire franchise. Gru's past as a villain is highlighted in Despicable Me 4, even though he isn't one now. Poppy knows him from his previous misdeeds, and he's still a conceited guy even as an AVL agent, but he's shown himself to be a caring spouse, a devoted parent, and a true hero. It's all a result of the love he's built with people in his immediate vicinity. Gru Jr. receives that same affection from him, and it ultimately saves his life. The major emotional turn in the movie's finale occurs when Gru Jr. demonstrates that he can withstand Maxime's mind control due to his love for his father. Like previous Despicable Me franchise finales, the Despicable Me 4 denouement honors the strange family that has developed around Gru. It demonstrates how much he has changed from the Gru of Despicable Me's introduction. In Despicable Me 4, the conclusion emphasizes how much happier Gru is with the family, highlighting the value of having one despite distance, in blood, age, or even species.